Welcome to Mysterious Encounters. Before there were nations, before there were borders, before kings ruled vast territories, human civilization was scattered, cities stood alone, each with its own ruler, each with its own god, each guarding its own walls. And then around 4,300 years ago, one man changed everything. His name was Sargon, and history remembers him as the first emperor. The strange thing about Sargon is that no one knows where he came from. Ancient tablets tell a story that sounds strangely familiar. Sargon, they say, was born to a woman of unknown status, placed in a basket, set upon a river, and carried away by the current. Eventually, he was found and raised by a gardener, a man who gave the child a simple life. But the child would not remain simple, because the boy would grow into something the world had never seen before. A conqueror who did not stop at one city or one kingdom, but many. In the ancient land of Mesopotamia, cities ruled themselves. Ur, Uruk, Lagash, each powerful, each independent, each unwilling to kneel. But Sargon changed the rules. Instead of ruling a single city, he built something new. A system, an empire, one ruler, governing many cities. Sargon conquered the powerful city-states of Sumer, one after another, until something unprecedented existed, a single authority stretching across the fertile lands between the Tigris and Euphrates, the Akkadian Empire. The first empire recorded in human history. Sargon did something that previous rulers had never attempted. He did not simply conquer cities. He reorganized them. Governors were installed. Trade routes were secured. Roads connected distant regions. Languages began to blend. Cultures mixed. Power was no longer local. It was centralized. For the first time, an empire ruled not just land, but systems, administration, military command, communication, a structure that would echo through history. After Sargon, the pattern was established. Empires would rise again and again. Assyria, Babylon, Persia, Rome, each building upon the same architecture. A single ruler, a network of cities, control of resources, control of trade, control of information. The first empire was not the last. It was the template. But Sargon was not only remembered as a king, he became a legend. Stories about him spread for centuries. Inscriptions described him as chosen by the gods, a ruler destined to dominate the world. Some historians believe these stories were propaganda, political myth-making, a way to justify power. But that raises an interesting question, because propaganda itself is a technology of empire, and Sargon may have been the first ruler to truly understand it. Civilization changed the moment Sargon unified the cities. The world shifted from independent settlements to organized power, from scattered rulers to centralized authority, and once the idea of empire existed, it could never be forgotten, because every empire that followed was built on the same foundation, the foundation laid by the first emperor, Sargon of Akkad.